guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Crazy Sam. So I just wanted to kind of focus on a gameplay tip that I would call it. This is regarding the tech research that you do in the game. Now if we go into tech research here, so you need to spend sometimes a lot of time in terms of the days required for research for a certain component. Like in this example right here, for my ATC expansion level 7, I think the total when I started was about 34 days. That is how much time it would take for me to actually finish completing that research. Now obviously there are different ways in which that can be made to go faster. Obvious one is your efficiency points that are available sometimes, so you can use that to actually speed up your research. So each day requires one efficiency point. Now efficiency points early on are pretty difficult to get. It's not that easy. There are different ways of gathering efficiency points. You might find them sometimes on your tour runs. They are extremely rare in that case. They don't really come by that often on the normal tours. Now one way you can get more efficiency points, if you go into the trade port and you go to Aroha Williams here and you go to sell, then at certain points she will have an option here wherein you can sell certain components like your alloy components and all for research efficiency points. Now in this case right now she's giving us tech points for certain components. Let me try and refresh. Like here for example, I could sell my rat source extract and for each one I would get 3 efficiency points. So that is one way of getting efficiency points. The other way is sometimes if you go and in your normal tour runs, you would sometimes probably shoot down. There are those drones that are flying around circling certain towers on the maps. So if you look down here, drones like this, so if you shoot those drones, then you can sell them here for efficiency points again. If you notice each drone, as it shows you there, it gives me 3 efficiency points per drone. So that's the other way of doing it, wherein you can get efficiency points that way. The third way would be if you go through endless mode, and in endless mode or infinite mode as they call it, every time that you survive a particular wave, then at the end of it you can call in a supply drop, and each supply drop that you get on endless mode contains 3 efficiency points. Now these would be in the form of something like a cube. It looks like a small cube. So each of those is 1 efficiency point and you would get 3 per supply drop. Now what happens in that case is, you have to have enough firepower to survive the waves. It's pretty difficult early on in the game, and it takes a lot more time, especially because you need to survive a wave and then you get the supply drop and then you survive another wave and so on. So it's a lot lengthier as well. Now this is all for getting efficiency points so that you can speed up your tech research. Now the other way of doing it is if you go out on your normal tour runs, and while on the tour, whenever you bypass, or as they call it, insta loot a particular node, for each node that you bypass, it is 1 day of research time that's taken. So every time that you bypass a node, 1 day of research time is lessened here, and so on. So depending on how many nodes you do it, it again depends on that. Now what happens with that is, you're going to have to spend that much more time on recovery day, and if your outpost does not have enough firepower, then it can get pretty difficult, especially as you go higher up in terms of the levels. And it's more tedious, it's more time consuming. Now what I tend to do, this is again my way of doing it, I use the same technique what I had mentioned in another of my videos with regards to getting operatives into your squad, local operatives, to get them in faster. So I use that same technique to actually speed up my research time. So if you notice here, before I start, this is now going to be completed in another 25 days. So what I would normally do is I would go into a tour run here. This is again irrelevant in terms of where you are in the game at one point, because your outpost should be able to do this pretty easily. You're going to do it on the easiest easiest node available, or easiest map available. So we're going to go on Windy Desert and confirm and start. And what you would do is, at this point you should have enough power on your base to bypass both the nodes. So you would go to the first node, install loot here, that takes 20, and go to the other one, install loot here, which takes 75. So in under 100 power you're bypassing both the nodes, and you would carry on to recovery day. You take all, you just have to hold out for 60 seconds basically, call the fleet, confirm. Be prepared. So again, the main idea behind this is to reduce the number of days and to make it go faster in terms of the time taken for the tech research. So we are trying to reduce the days in a much more, I would call, efficient and faster way of doing it, and easier as well, because it doesn't take too much from the outpost as well. The outpost should be able to easily handle the enemies on this level as well, because it's only going to be the scorpions. You're not going to have any of the bigger enemies, no medium sized enemies or anything like that. So we're going to make it as fast as possible. Once we load into it, I'm going to go into command mode. I'm going to skip rest so that I'm not even waiting for another 80 seconds. So just over a minute more, and we're going to let the outpost do what it needs to do and take care of the enemies. In the meantime, I always go out and I collect whatever little resources and materials I can find here, instead of just waiting there and doing nothing or trying to shoot people. I rather collect
recovery procedure nearing completion.
That you can get.
Hold on just a bit longer.
Also, to make it go faster, once I get this prompt, I will call for evac. I want to wait to finish all the enemies because there's nothing else left here to actually loot. It's just the one point of interest there. So again, while our transport is still picking up the recovery loot,
see you at the base.
I mean, this outpost is overpowered for this map obviously, so it's still going to finish off everyone before the evac gets here. And we want to evacuate. So this entire run from start to finish took me just about 3 minutes. Just under, actually. It took me just less than 3 minutes. And now if we go back and check on our tech research, you would see that we have gone through 3 days of research time in under 3 minutes. So this for me is a very fast, efficient an easy way of getting through this research time. Now this is again important when you're slightly early on in the game as well, because the idea at that time, I mean that's how I used to do it until I found this to be an easier option, is to try and get your components researched faster instead of waiting and going out on tour runs and gathering materials and things like that just to get that research completed. I would rather have all the components researched and then go out on runs and collect materials so that I can probably craft more components, because most of them are already researched, is the idea how I looked at it. So this for me is the easy way. So in 3 minutes you're going through 3 days of research time. So it's faster, it's efficient, and it's very, very easy. I mean even very low level outposts should be able to easily go through this. So this is especially, I guess, useful and important for newer players, because you can get through your tech research time faster, and it helps you out further on in the game as well, especially if you have something like this. If I had the total time for this ATC expansion was 34 days. Now doing this exact run that I showed you, I've already got it down to 22. So if I do it enough, like for example, if I had done it the same way for in half an hour, I can go through 34 days of research time. So it's faster, it's efficient, and it's very, very easy. So hopefully this comes in handy for people. Hopefully somebody finds it useful, and yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to brush up on this and bring this out, because not many people might have thought of it in this way. I know it's not about gathering resources or materials, it's about going through the research time faster. That's the whole point of it. I'm not looking at how many materials I've gathered and things like that, so that's not really the point of it. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful to some of you. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It would help me out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.